Hello, this is Mike from Dimensional Walking. Today I'm going to start this episode off with a question. Did this tragic UFO incident spark a movement? Okay, so let's see. Which I do believe it did, but let's see what you think. On January the 7th, 1943, a guy named Captain Thomas Mantell, a decorated World War II pilot, with the Kentucky National Guard, was flying a P-51 Mustang, and he was dispatched from Godman Army Airfield near Fort Knox to investigate a strange aerial object spotted in the skies over Maysville, Kentucky. The object was described as large, metallic, and moving westward at high speeds, with witnesses estimating it to be 250 to 300 feet in diameter. Okay, so that's pretty profound, just in the size thing. So Mantell and three other pilots were ordered to intercept this object. As they climbed, Mantell continued to pursue alone. His wingman broke off because of the fact that they did not have oxygen equipment to go above a certain altitude. Probably about 18,000 feet, I believe, is when it becomes an issue. But, anyways, bottom line was the aircraft wasn't, again, equipped to do this high altitude flight. So he pressed on, reporting reaching 22,000 to 25,000 feet. And tragically, of course, but not surprising, he lost consciousness from lack of oxygen. His plane spiraled down, crashing near Franklin, Kentucky, not far from Clarksville. So what did Mantell see? So there's all kinds of theories that are floating around, and one of the theories, of course, is this sky hook balloon, which was widely ended up being widely accepted as an explanation. It was chasing this top secret balloon, okay, as part of a Navy project to measure the upper atmosphere radiation. So these balloons are large, unknown, and unknown to most military personnel at the time, okay? Now, let me just interject here, and we'll talk about this more. I don't think it was going at top speed, some kind of speed that the balloons just don't fly fast. Okay, let's face it. But these things were witnessed as going really fast, and that was witnessed primarily from the pilot, Mantell, and the other couple pilots that were with him. Okay, and there could have been other radar reports too. And anyways, let me keep on going. So the next thing is they said, well, maybe this guy saw Venus. Okay, uh, he mistook Venus for this UFO, etc. Well, so his final, just so you know, his final conclusion, his final what would I call that conclusion? His final radio transmission was it was metallic object of tremendous size. Okay, this is where the extraterrestrial craft thing comes in. Uh, and some of the officials, the military people, privately feared that Mandel uh, uh, accidentally encountered or encountered, not accidentally, he did encounter possibly a hostile alien spacecraft, mainly because of what he said. It was this large metallic of tremendous size. And of course, there was also transmissions before that talking about speed, etc. So that was the other thing, was this possibility. So the man the Mantell incident was one of the first to be investigated by Project Sign, and which was the precursor to the Blue Book. And while the space hook balloon explanation eventually became the official line, many researchers have questioned the rapid dismissal of alternate theories. Okay, So they grabbed onto this thing that was a safe theory, the government did, and threw that out there. And that's what they stuck with pretty much. I don't want to say to today, but kind of till today. Some believe that Mantell's death was used to cover up the existence of advanced aerial technology, whether extraterrestrial or experimental. The incidences were filed and classified and filed and stored at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, which is a location often cited as UFO lore as a repository for alien artifacts. So that was another reason, possibly, because there's been other things that were pretty confident that they ended up in what they call Hangar 18, which stores all these. This also went there, which may mean something. Um, so Mantell's crash became a media sensation, uh, fueling public fears and fascination with flying saucers. The headlines speculated about alien weapons and interstellar visitors. The incident helped cement the idea that UFOs were not just hallucinations or hoaxes, they could be dangerous and even deadly. Okay? And it also marked a turning point in how the U.S. government approached UFO sightings. The Air Force began taking reports more seriously, and the Mantell case was cited in early discussions about national security implications of identified aerial phenomena. So that was kind of the start. So it looks to me, besides Roswell, okay, this incident to me was the starting, got the ball rolling. Okay, there's no doubt about it, and especially since the military was in the mix of this to start with. Okay, so let's go back to this skyhook balloon thing. So some of the speculative uh, threads here. Here's the interesting thing about this balloon theory. It didn't emerge until years later. Okay, they didn't know what how to explain it. And then all of a sudden they concocted this thing about this skyhook balloon. And I would argue, and other people have argued the same thing, that it was retrofitted to explain away the incident. Basically, it took them a couple of years to come up with this cockamamie story about this balloon, which, if you dig a little deeper, obviously it couldn't have been the balloon. Okay. So the other thing is, Mantell may have encountered test craft from another nation or a black project from the United States. Of course, you got to remember the Cold War at this time was heating up and secret technology was basically everywhere. Um, so the other thing is why we'll go back to the Wright-Patterson thing. Why did they send it to Wright-Patterson? That's a good question because that was a place uh, that was a storage place that for stuff that they weren't going to let out. It was a top secret storage area for UFO related stuff. Okay. Um, Again, the Mantell thing, everybody's got to remember this happened only a few months after Roswell. And it was one of the first fatal encounters that tied a UFO to a military craft. Okay. I think there's been other ones since. I really do. I think they've been covered up completely, though. So again, his final transmission, again, I just want to emphasize this, was this metallic object of tremendous size. There was also transmissions before that talking about speed and direction. Um, so let Hangar 18, I want to talk about Hangar 18 for a minute. If you don't know what it is, it's a hangar in Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, which supposedly has alien debris, biological specimens, and even living entities. Uh, my sister once had I guess a friend, an acquaintance, whatever, that actually worked there, had been in Hangar 18, and I'm not going to go into it, but had said that there was some really interesting stuff there. We'll leave it at that. So the Mantell's case was folded into a broader effort to conceal extraterrestrial contact. Okay. If the object he chased wasn't a skyhook balloon, which it wasn't, uh, but something far more advanced. Wright Patterson would have been a logical destination for this, all this stuff. Okay, so it's actually this Wright Patterson is, as I hinted to, is not just a base. It is a vault of the unknown, and that's what Hangar 18 is. So, a few final thoughts here. 1948 Mantell incident remains one of the most compelling early UFO cases. It's a story of bravery, mystery, and the thin veil between official narrative and speculative truth. Whether Mantell chased a balloon, a planet, or something not of this earth, his death marked the beginning of a new era, one where skies were no longer just the domain of clouds and birds, but the secrets waiting to be uncovered. Uh, yes, I believe next to Roswell, it was the beginning of a movement, a UFO movement. There's no doubt in my mind. So, what do you think? Let me know. Happy trails. We'll see you.